oh well, I'd rather have a pretty face and no body and be like skinny versus having like a body, because at least I know that guys like me for me. And I just looked at her and I'm like, okay, like what? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another curvy girl talk. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, then go check out my intro. It will be in the description box below. Also, I did film this beautiful look, so if you guys want to see that, it will also be in the description box below. And today in my curvy girl talk video, I'm going to be talking about peers and family. So specific experiences that I encountered as I was growing up as a curvy female, and yeah, I just want to see if any of you guys could relate. So if you guys want to see what I'll be saying as far as this topic goes, then please stay tuned and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and Twitter. And let's get right into the video. Okay, you guys, so I briefly mentioned my peers and family members in my intro video and saying how they always pointed out that I was curvy. Like, I didn't know this, like I didn't live with myself forever. But it was always like awkward to me because I don't know, it just didn't happen to everybody. So like I felt weird in the fact for this video, a disclaimer here. For this video, I did not write any notes down because I wanted to be as raw as possible. And my last intro video, I wrote notes down and some things I forgot to say because I was just so nervous about the concept that I just couldn't get everything out. So this one, I just decided to just go with the flow and see what happens, because sometimes when I do that, it works out better. So anyways, I spoke about briefly how when I met new family members or anything, like they would just automatically comment on my body type. Even in school, people would comment on my body type all the freaking time. So it was really tough in a way that since I didn't accept it, and I didn't, not that I didn't accept it, but I didn't want that to be the focus, because I feel like once people label you as just being like curvy and having like a big butt, they just forget that you're a human being. And it's not everybody, but that's just how they'll start to describe you. And that's how I was described a lot in school and my family members. Like, so here's two specific encounters. And also something I did forget to mention, one of the reasons that I felt so like ashamed of my body in a way and just like uncomfortable with it is that I used to have really old men. Like, still I get comments from really old men on Instagram, but I was like 12 or something and get like looks and comments from men that could be my grandpa or possibly like my great grandpa. Like, it was really disgusting. And so that just made me feel like, I don't know, it made me feel like disgusted. Like, I just didn't know, I don't know, like they had absolutely no control over their anything. So that made me feel like shameful and just not right, you know? It doesn't feel right. And it's always like a sexual comment too, so it's nothing like respectful. It was always like disrespectful and like a sexual comment. But anyways, so I started realizing that bodies were a thing, because I'm telling you, I had no idea. I was the most innocent child ever until I got corrupted by the other kids in my school, to be honest. And still, I was really innocent. I was really good, guys. I was a really good kid. But anyways, I didn't know that bodies were a thing until probably like maybe 5th grade, but definitely middle school. I don't know. I don't even know how it started. It just kind of started happening. Like, boys would comment on my butt, and I was just like confused because I didn't understand, like, what the hell. I don't understand why a butt is a thing. Like why is that attractive to you? Like, I just didn't understand that concept. So it started in 6th grade. I also got sexually harassed in like middle school, where dudes would randomly just smack my ass or something. There was actually a situation where the school wanted to take it to the court and everything, but my mother didn't want to do that. It was just too much. And I was like really young. I was like 11, 12 years old. but like, yeah, like sexually harassed, where like people would just feel the need or feel like it was okay to just touch my body, and it really wasn't. So that happened in middle school. And of course I'm talking about this so nonchalantly because it's been years. I'm 24 years old now. This happened 12, 13 years ago. But and now I'm just like a completely different person. Obviously I'm an adult. I was a kid then. But it is a serious thing. It is something that it happens a lot, and that's just like one of the things that happened. I also had issues making friends with females because a lot of females didn't like me because a lot of boys liked me, and that sounds like, I don't know, it was stupid. But they would just think that I thought that I was just like the most conceited person, and it's just like they never even spoke to me before. But because I had a nice body and a pretty face, people just didn't like me because of that. And I remember getting into conflicts every year in middle school with people that I didn't really even speak to. I had no issues with anybody. Like, it was really strange. Like, it was just annoying. Really, really annoying. But that happened in high school. It was better. People were a little bit more mature. It was definitely better, and but I was still being labeled, of course. Like, everybody always commented on my butt. Oh, there was like another Kendra in the school, I remember. And then anytime people would try to describe which Kendra they were talking about, I was always Big Booty Kendra. So that was just my description. And that didn't necessarily make me feel away because at this time I was already used to people reacting in a disrespectful way, or like, not disrespectful, but they just didn't like think that it was rude or anything to just label me as just having like a big butt. But I was already used to it by this time. I met a lot of like family members around this time too in what do you call that? In high school. So around my teenage years. And I remember going to this party, and a far family member, I never even met them before, remember them coming up to me and like, oh my God, you're so beautiful, and like just touching my butt and like, wow, look at all of this. And I'm like, wow, that is crazy. That is really crazy. Like, people just felt so comfortable. It's like, you know, when women are pregnant and then you just go and like touch their belly, but nobody even thinks that that's their body part, and you're like actually touching somebody else's stomach. Like, you should ask for permission. Like, it's weird. But it was like that. It was like people felt comfortable just like going up to me and touching my butt and saying like, oh my God, look at all this, you have such a nice body. And it's just like, okay for the compliments, like I get it, but like actually touching me, that's awkward. Like, that's super duper awkward. But yeah, I just had a lot of that going on. So it was something that after a while I started to feel irritated with having a curvy body, because I just felt like people didn't respect me as a person because of my body. Like, they just assumed that you know, this was it, it's my body, and you know, that's just how I'm gonna be labeled, and this is what they're gonna pay attention to. And so I just, after a while, just felt irritated about that, like towards that. Yeah, I even had friends who would push their insecurities onto me, which I wouldn't even, you know, you have to be careful with the term friends, because I wouldn't even consider these people friends. But I had a friend, I remember, in high school, that I remember one time we were walking somewhere. I remember this person was like, well, and I remember we weren't even having like a full conversation about this or anything. It came up randomly. You know, I was known to be like the curvy, I have a curvy body, I have a body, right? And she just came out of nowhere one day, and we're just walking, and she says, oh, well, I'd rather have a pretty face and no body and be like skinny versus having like a body, because at least I know that guys like me for me. And I just looked at her and I'm like, okay, like what? I didn't understand where it came from, and I kind of just brushed it off and I just left it alone. But obviously, like, I remember it because it was something that I felt triggered by, because it's like, we're friends. Like, actually, this person was one of my best friends at the time. So it just felt really, really weird that it would just come out of nowhere and say that. Yeah, it was really really weird. Like even like close friends. I even had another friend at one time. We were getting ready to have like this party, and we're both getting dressed or whatever. And I'm super duper excited because we hadn't had a party in a while and blah blah blah. And she was like, "Oh my God, you're making me feel so insecure." And I felt so shitty because I'm like, I'm not doing anything to you for you to feel insecure, but because she felt insecure, she like pushed that on me because of her like body or whatever. And she was like looking at herself and saying like, you're making me feel so insecure. And I was just like we're friends. I don't see that as a, like, I don't see you as my competition or like anything. Like, we're both beautiful, you know? So I had a lot of situations with females in that aspect where I just couldn't really connect with people because they just seen me as like a competition or seen me as like I'm making them feel a certain way when I really don't do any. I didn't do any of that. I had low self-esteem because of my body. I thought that people really just like, boys really liked me only because of my body, and that's all I had because that was all that was pointed out to me. So it was like really really tough. I was like, so because I had like low self-esteem and stuff, I really didn't like accentuate putting on like clothes that was gonna make me like pop out, like, you know, it wasn't something that I felt comfortable doing. Now as I'm getting older, I definitely love showing off my body. It's just my body. It's been my body for my whole life. I've been on the thicker side for my entire life. I just learned to accept my body as it is. Once I started on Instagram also, I used to in the beginning feel a way that people would only pay attention to my curviness and not my, you know, not my makeup or not like just other aspects of me. Like I put in work into like videos and different makeup looks, and all people paid attention to was my outfit posts. And I get it, like, okay, I have a really nice body, but in the beginning, I just didn't accept that. Now, I love it. I mean, I work with a lot of clothing companies, so I think that's super duper dope. And I have so many women DMing me and telling me that, to thank me for like showing them that being curvy is not a bad thing. And so that's also something that influenced me to make these kinds of videos, to shed some light on like how it feels to be curvy. I don't like going outside by myself too much because guys tend to get disrespectful. Or if I do go outside, I don't like to dress up and be by myself. I would rather dress up only when somebody's really with me because it makes me feel a little bit like nervous. And I hate catcalling. I used to get it when I was like super young, like preteen, 11, 12, 13 years old. By older men. So I used to always hate catcalling. Because I was so young, I just hated it. And people used to be like, oh my God, well, your body makes you look like you're older. So that doesn't mean you have to treat me a certain way and disrespect me and say these stupid, rude comments just because my body makes me look like I'm older. That I'm 12. Like, I'm really 12. But anyways, those were some like things that happened with my peers and my family. Peers, family members, strangers. This is just some of the situations that curvy females have to deal with. And of course you hear about these things like, oh yeah, the catcalling and stuff, but you don't realize how detrimental that can be to somebody's mentality. For a very long time, like I even had boys in my school, if I didn't pay attention to them, they would be like, oh, well, you know, boys only like you because of your butt and blah, blah, blah. And as I said, I didn't have any idea like why that was a thing. And that also made me feel like completely insecure because I was just like, well, I guess I don't have like a dope personality, or I guess I'm not as pretty. I wonder if I was super duper skinny, would people still be interested? It was really like tough, especially for somebody like me. I was always really shy and introverted, so it was hard to deal with. Because of that, if I was more like extroverted and stuff, I don't know if I would have behaved different, or if it would have affected me as much. But because I had low self-esteem, and because I was introverted, it did, because I was just around that and I didn't like it. So I mean, that was my experience. If you girls had any experiences in particular that you remember, you can mention them down below. I'll be responding to comments. When it comes to these videos, I definitely want to have more of a conversation with you guys. So I will definitely be responding to comments. You know what's funny, in the other video, my intro, I still got like disrespectful comments after going a whole video on saying how I didn't expect it to leave. I just thought that was really like funny. Anyways, if you ladies have a lot of other experiences that you like, particular experiences that you have been through, let me know in the comments down below. I'm curious to know. I feel like we could all connect and empower each other and learn to believe and know that our bodies are beautiful and they should not be mistreated or disrespected by anybody just because we're curvy. It doesn't make sense for that to happen. But anyways, I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did and you want to see more Curvy Girl Talk videos, then please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and Twitter. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!